Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning into the channel, and if you're new here, a warm welcome to the community. Today, we have something incredibly exciting planned for you, so make yourself comfortable, grab a snack, and enjoy the experience. We're going to explore the journey of Queen Amina, Nigeria, Hausa people, and believe me, you'll want to stay till the end. As always, if you enjoy engaging stories and fresh content, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss what's coming up next. Now, sit back, unwind, and let's get started.
The advent of a warrior queen. The sun of the north bathed the ancient city of Zazzau in a golden glow. This was a land filled with renowned warriors, traders, and leaders, standing as a powerful center within the Hausa kingdoms. On this hallowed ground, a child was born, one whose name would echo through the ages. Her name was Amina. She was the offspring of Bakwa Turunku, the formidable ruler of Zazzau, and from her very first breath, the elders murmured that she was special. Unlike other royal girls, who were expected to remain in the palace and prepare for matrimony, Amina displayed an early passion for the sword. As a young girl, she would stealthily visit the training grounds, observing the warriors as they honed their skills. One day, when she was merely 10 years old, she picked up a wooden spear and imitated the movements of the soldiers. Her father, King Bakwa, discovered her and chuckled, "A warrior's road is not meant for a princess." Amina defiantly lifted her small spear. "Then I shall be more than just a princess. I will be a warrior queen." The king's laughter transformed into pride. He recognized the determination in her eyes, and from that moment, he permitted her to train with Zazzau's finest warriors. The transformation into a warrior, time passed, and Amina matured into a formidable fighter. She trained alongside the mightiest men of the kingdom, becoming proficient in the sword, spear, and horsemanship. Her mother, Queen Bakwa, grew concerned for her well-being. "Amina, your strength is remarkable, but ruling a kingdom requires more than mere force. It demands wisdom." Amina agreed, yet deep down, she understood that strength was essential. Zazzau faced threats from all sides. The Nup to the west, the Kanuri to the east, and the emerging might of the Songhai Empire. If she were to lead someday, she had to be prepared. One fateful day, while hunting, Amina and her guards were ambushed by bandits. Outnumbered, the guards hesitated, but Amina did not waver. With a battle cry resonating across the plains, she charged forward, her sword gleaming in the sun. The bandits, taken by surprise, were forced to flee. Her valor astonished even the most experienced warriors. Word of her bravery spread throughout Zazzau. The people began to murmur. Perhaps Amina was not merely a warrior. Perhaps she was destined to be their future ruler. A realm without a king. Tragedy befell Amina when she was still in her 20s. Her father, King Bakwa, passed away unexpectedly, leaving the throne vacant. As per tradition, the elders appointed her younger brother, Karima, to lead. Amina did not object. She had no intention of remaining in the palace, while her people required protection. Instead, she took charge of Zazzau's army, broadening the kingdom's reach through both diplomacy and conflict. Under her command, Zazzau emerged as a significant power. She implemented innovative military strategies, forged strong alliances, and triumphed in numerous battles. Yet tranquility was always short-lived. One night, a battered scout arrived at the palace. "The Nup have launched an attack. They are burning our villages and advancing toward Zazzau." Karima summoned his generals, but the citizens had already made their choice regarding who should lead them into battle. Amina stepped forward, her armor shining. "I will lead the charge." The warriors erupted in approval. The struggle for Zazzau had commenced. The Battle of Zazzau. At the break of dawn, Amina rode out with her warriors to the battlefield. The Nup army, infamous for their deadly cavalry and tactical prowess, had already set ablaze the outer settlements of Zazzau. Dark smoke spiraled upwards, a harsh reminder of the devastation they had caused. Amina approached the front lines on her black stallion, her curved sword shining in the morning sun. "Today we fight not only for Zazzau, but for every family they have torched. Ensure that no enemy escapes this land alive." Her warriors responded with a deafening roar. The battle erupted with a booming clash. The Nup horsemen charged in, their spears lifted high. Yet Amina had carefully analyzed their tactics. She commanded her archers to line up closely and release a barrage of arrows before the foes could reach them. The Nup soldiers fell like dominoes. With a decisive signal, she led the charge herself. Her sword sliced through enemy ranks, and her warriors followed her lead with relentless vigor. She fought like a war spirit, dodging and striking as she pressed on. By nightfall, the battlefield was quiet. The Nup forces had been repelled. Zazzau had triumphed. That evening, as the people rejoiced, Karima approached his sister. "You were destined to lead," he confessed. "I may be king in title, but you are the true sovereign of Zazzau." Amina remained silent. She simply stared at the stars, aware that her journey had just begun. The queen's ascension. Months after the battle, disaster struck anew. King Karima died suddenly, poisoned by an unseen adversary. The kingdom found itself rulerless. The elders of Zazzau convened in the palace. There was no argument. They looked to Amina. "You are more than a warrior," one elder remarked. "You are a true leader. Claim the throne." Amina knelt before the royal seat, her hands resting on her sword's hilt. As the crowd chanted her name, she stood tall, transformed from a warrior princess to Queen Amina of Zazzau. Yet, she understood that ruling alone was insufficient. To safeguard her realm, she needed to broaden her kingdom. Her initial decree as queen was to dispatch messengers to nearby states, Gobir, Kano and Katsina. "Join us in peace or prepare for battle." Some capitulated, others resisted. Thus, Queen Amina readied her sword once again. The conquest begins. Over the ensuing decade, Queen Amina spearheaded her warriors in a campaign unlike anything the Hausa territories had witnessed. She rode at the forefront of every battle, conquering new regions through exceptional strategy and fearless combat. She constructed formidable walls around cities to shield them from future assaults, fortifications that would endure for centuries. She brought iron weaponry to Zazzau, transforming its army into the mightiest in the area. She increased trade, ushering in wealth and well-being for her people. Throughout it all, she declined marriage, asserting, "My union is with my kingdom." Her story became legendary. Even distant lands spoke of the warrior queen of Zazzau. However, every notable ruler confronts formidable challenges. A new adversary was emerging, one that was stronger than any she had previously encountered. And Queen Amina's greatest confrontation was still ahead. The darkness looming over Zazzau. For many years, tales of Queen Amina had achieved legendary status across the Hausa regions. She had seized cities, erected formidable walls, and secured Zazzau's wealth through commerce. Yet even the most resilient rulers must face emerging dangers. Messengers arrived at the palace bearing dire news. A formidable foe had emerged from the south. The kingdom of Kwara, infamous for its merciless warriors and lethal ambush strategies, was advancing toward Zazzau. Amina convened her war council. "They believe we will remain behind our fortifications," she declared. "But we will bring the fight to them." The soldiers of Zazzau readied themselves for battle once more, aware that this would pose their toughest challenge yet. The path to conflict. Amina led her troops southward, navigating through thick forests and across rivers, into the land of Kwara. The enemy possessed an advantage. They were familiar with the terrain, employing poison arrows and treacherous traps. One evening, as they set up their camp, a sudden assault erupted from the trees. Arrows fell like rain. Warriors were struck down. Amina unsheathed her sword and fought in the night, her warriors surrounding her in a protective formation. By dawn, the skirmish had concluded. Zazzau endured significant losses, yet Amina remained resolute. She addressed her army, her voice filled with conviction. "We will not retreat. We fight until we achieve victory or perish." Her warriors lifted their swords in affirmation. The war had commenced. The assault on Kwara. For weeks, Amina's forces advanced, breaking through enemy lines until they arrived at the gates of Kwara's capital. The city stood as a stronghold, shielded by towering walls and formidable fighters. Amina recognized that a frontal assault would be unwise. Therefore, she devised a siege strategy. For several days, her troops obstructed supplies, compelling the enemy to grow weaker. When the opportune moment arrived, she led the final offensive. The combat was fierce. Swords clanged, arrows soared, and blood soaked the ground. Amina battled with the ferocity of a lioness, her golden armor gleaming as she felt enemy after enemy. By nightfall, the city had surrendered. Zazzau emerged victorious, a kingdom reborn. Following her triumph, Queen Amina returned to Zazzau more formidable than ever. She had guaranteed her people's prosperity, broadened her empire, and shown that no power could shatter her realm. Standing atop the grand walls she had erected and gazing over her domains, she recognized that her legacy would endure eternally. Yet, she also understood that her journey was far from finished. There were still territories to conquer. Additional conflicts lay ahead, and Queen Amina, the warrior queen of Zazzau, was prepared to ride into battle once more. The weight of the crown. The citizens of Zazzau rejoiced over Queen Amina's victories, but governing an empire was significantly more challenging than achieving military success. Sitting on the royal throne, she confronted new obstacles. Uprisings from smaller tribes resisting her leadership, conflicts among nobles envious of her authority, and merchants attempting to exploit the kingdom's growing wealth. After years on the battlefield, she now had to excel in the realm of diplomacy. One day, a council of elders approached her. "Your Majesty, the people hold you in high regard, but they dread the prospect of unending conflict. They desire peace." Amina remained quiet. She had fought tirelessly to establish this empire. Was she now expected to cease? That night, she found herself alone on the mighty walls of Zazzau, contemplating her kingdom and questioning whether she had done enough. The greatest battle, despite her successes, rumors of insurrection reached her. Some vanquished rulers perceived her aging and deemed it the perfect moment to strike. She summoned her generals. "We shall not wait for war to arrive on our doorstep. We must reaffirm our strength to the world." However, as she charged into battle once again, she sensed a transformation within herself. She was no longer the fearless young warrior who had rushed into combat. Her body felt encumbered, her reflexes dulled. The environment around her was evolving, and she had to decide. Would she perpetually continue to fight, or would she endeavor to create something enduring beyond warfare? The final decision. Amina returned to Zazzau and made a choice that astonished the realm. She gathered her people and spoke from the steps of the palace. "For many years I have defended Zazzau. I have constructed fortifications, achieved victories, and extended our territory. But now, I must confront a different challenge, the challenge of establishing peace." She unveiled her strategy to enhance the kingdom through commerce and diplomatic engagement. No more perpetual battles. Instead, Zazzau would flourish via knowledge, trade, and partnerships. Initially, many could not comprehend her decision, but eventually, they recognized the wisdom behind her choice. In her later years, she dedicated herself to ensuring her people's prosperity, developing roads, fortresses, and marketplaces. Her legacy emerged as a legend, not solely as a warrior, but as a leader who understood when to lay down arms. When she ultimately departed from this life, she was remembered not just for her victories, but for the kingdom she had constructed, one destined to endure for generations. The end.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you found this video helpful and enjoyable, please remember to hit the like button as it really supports the channel. Also, if you're new or haven't already, make sure to subscribe and enable notifications. Until next time, take care and keep exploring.